When a major platform goes down, the environment instantly shifts into a high-stakes scramble. Alarms fire off, Slack channels explode, and engineering teams race against the clock to bring the systems back online. But getting the site back up is only the first part of the job. Once the fire is out, the team has to sit down and write the incident postmortem, a detailed root cause summary explaining exactly what broke and why. This manual process is notorious for causing headaches. Junior site reliability engineers often miss crucial contributing factors in the timeline, while senior engineers tend to write summaries that vary in depth and structure depending on who is typing. The result is a massive drain on valuable engineering time. Having humans painstakingly piece together these reports creates a bottleneck in improving overall system reliability. The modern instinct is to hand this exact task over to a massive general-purpose AI. You take the raw incident timeline, paste it into a giant model, and ask it to summarize the crash. Yet these enormous models struggle with highly specialized formatting out of the box, a scenario known as a zero-shot prompt, where the AI hasn't been explicitly trained on the specific task. Without that specialized training, the giant models tend to hallucinate their own structures. They generate incredibly verbose, generic summaries that completely ignore strict engineering conventions and fail to pinpoint actionable takeaways. On top of that, running a giant model at scale requires immense computational power for routine administrative tasks. Using these multi-billion parameter models incurs a high cost per call that quickly eats into a department's budget. Throwing immense computational resources at a highly specific formatting problem leads to bloated, expensive, and ultimately unusable reporting. That brings us to a surprisingly small alternative, Qwen2.5.05b. In the AI landscape, this half-billion parameter model is a severe underdog. Its tiny footprint gives it a massive physical advantage. It is compact enough to run entirely locally on a standard, cheap consumer graphics card with just 8 GB of memory. To give this small model high-level precision, engineers use a technique called 4-bit quantized LoRA, or Low-Rank Adaptation. This process updates only a tiny fraction of the model's brain, while keeping its memory footprint extremely small. Through LoRA, the model is fed a restricted diet of 700 real site reliability incident timelines. This isolated training forces the model to take messy, raw timelines and convert them into perfectly formatted root cause summaries. This targeted training allows a half-billion parameter model to master a specific reporting format that usually requires much larger hardware. To see if this actually works, a direct, data-driven comparison was set up, pitting massive zero-shot models against this tiny, fine-tuned alternative. The official scorecard for this test is a strict 4-point evaluation rubric designed to measure exactly what site reliability engineers need to see in a postmortem. This chart breaks down the 4 rubric criteria: timeline, contributing factors, specific component, and prevention action. Giant models failed, struggling between 20 and 50% compliance. But the fine-tuned tiny model pushed past the 60% threshold, consistently beating them. The tiny model wins this comparison because its output is naturally concise and rigidly adheres to the specific required format of the organization. The data points to a clear takeaway. Relying on multi-million-dollar general AI to solve highly specific engineering problems is entirely unnecessary when a cheap, focused alternative actually performs better. This SRE solution demonstrates the practical advantages of using smaller, local models for internal enterprise workflows. The small model approach offers major benefits. Latency drops significantly, operational costs are slashed, and companies can keep their highly sensitive incident data completely secure and local. But there is an additional detail regarding the specific GitHub repository and the training pipeline we just analyzed. The complex fine-tuning script, the data scraping pipeline, and the strict evaluation rubric were not actually written by a human engineer. Every single file in this project was planned, written, tested, and verified entirely autonomously by an AI agent named Neo. The success of this project shows how autonomous agents can now handle the entire lifecycle of building and deploying these specialized tools, taking the burden of maintenance off the engineering team.